My name is Sean Daley, and I am a field representative for AFSCME in the East Central jurisdiction. As a correctional officer, I started off working for the Waupun Correctional Institution in Waupun for I want to say two and a half years. I was there in anticipation for Jackson Correctional Institution being opened in the Black River Falls area, and once that opened, I transferred up to there and worked there for 5-6 years before coming to staff rep. Actually, that went back to when I started in Waupun. Waupun has historically had strong monthly membership meetings, and I started becoming involved just as a general member there when I transferred up to Jackson Correctional Institution. Being that was a newly established institution, there was significant problems in establishing the protocol of the institution and whatnot, and that prompted me to want to get involved to try to effectuate change for the better, and I just kind of moved up through the ranks while at Jackson, starting off as a shift steward to secretary, vice president, president, and the whole time kind of maintaining the chief steward role while I was there. There's a number of ways that that are still available to us to the simple one that comes to mind obviously is the grievance procedure, and a lot of people don't know this. They think that this grievance procedure is kind of dead or buried or partially alive, and although it's not what we used to have, it's important for members to know that, specifically speaking with the Department of Corrections, they have out of the discipline that they have issued, every single grievance that has been filed post Act 10 on anything the employer has done, 99.5% of them have been dismissed by the employer, by the Department of Corrections at second step. At the Wisconsin Employment Relations Commission, which is now the arbiter, the final arbiter of our issues, so far to date, we have prevailed as AFSCME Council 24 on 100% of those grievances. Okay, and a lot of people don't know that is currently our record. That the system that we were all kind of concerned about, we didn't know how we were going to be able to move and shake kind of through this thing. So far to date, we're batting 100% off of 99.5% of cases that the Department of Corrections has just summarily dismissed at second step. That claim by Wackel is one of the kind of long list that I've kind of put together on things that just don't really ring true. Okay, their claim that we as now mind you, Wackel has some of the leaders in Wackel are very knowledgeable men of corrections and very well spoken men about corrections. Can't take that from them, right? But I will say this: that those men as stewards, those men and women, whatever they are, as stewards for their fellow members, are no better than the AFSCME stewards at Oshkosh, or the AFSCME stewards at Green Bay, or the AFSCME stewards at Stanley, or at Prairie, or at Racine. There's really no, of course you have some stewards are pretty strong, but when you put them side by side, they are no stronger as a steward for their members than AFSCME stewards are in these work sites then. Okay, what happens with the grievance procedure we were just talking about? These things move up and they get into the Wisconsin Employment Relations Commission, and they're putting all their stock into some labor attorney that has 0 years of corrections. Meanwhile, us as staff reps, I worked in max security, I've worked in medium security, and we have decades of corrections experience, in addition to the knowledge and ability to litigate cases in a pretty complex system. And like I said, so far, we're not doing too bad. In fact, we're doing very well. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I've actually been thinking a lot about this. And you know what? Everybody's frustrated. Everybody in the labor movement, whether it's private, public, whatever you are, there's a level of frustration. I get it, okay? And the workers get it. But to me, what I've been kind of comparing it to is a boxer, okay? And when you're in a ring against a world-class counterpuncher, when you swing and miss and bap, bap, you get two to the face, and when that's constantly happening, you get frustrated. And when you get frustrated and you don't see change coming, you start deviating from the game plan. And meanwhile, the professionals in your corner are saying, stay the plan, okay? You're in round one. We got 15 of these things. Stay the course. In the end, when you stay the course, you will get to where you need to be. But that's not what's happening. When you see wacko, they're frustrated. And you know what? They should be frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. But what they're doing is they're starting to swing for this haymaker, okay? And they're forgetting the game plan. And when you look around the country and you read the paperwork and the articles from, you know, labor historians and professors and things like that, when you kind of look through this stuff, they all say that right now the worst thing is to leave an international union and go with a small association because of the resources. It's all of these things that they say, well, when we certify, we're going to be able to do this, we're going to be able to do this, we're going to be able to do this. Well, we have certified units in the Department of Corrections, and none of that is happening. We've been pushing for it to have, none of it's happening. So they're really kind of selling this false sense of security to people. And I can understand, you know, because of the frustration that I spoke of at the very beginning, people are interested, that intrigues people. They want that. I want that. But I know that certifying, when the law is rather clear, it's not going to get you there. Yeah, no, that's that. You know, here again, it's not rocket science. You know, the more we are infighting and breaking down, the less we are organizing. You know, putting our resources together to try to advance the working class movement. You know, I mean, you see some of these, you know, assertions from WACO saying, well, maybe, you know, Act 10 wasn't totally inappropriate.
Good to see you.
Oh,
Thanks for having us.
thank you for being
Hi,
here.
Mary Wilbur.
Good to see you
Good
again,
to see
yeah.
you, yeah.
Any chance we'll ever get to be a completely red state and work on these unions?
Oh, yeah.
And become a right to work?
Well, in fact, the
What
big thing
can we do to help you?
Well, we're going to start in a couple weeks with our budget adjustment bill. The first step is we're going to deal with collective bargaining for all public employee unions,
Right?
because you divide and conquer. Because you divide and conquer.
You know, the obvious one is 1.6 million members. All right, there's a lot of machinery there. You know, that's a big. I mean, we're the biggest union in the country. Okay, that in itself generates resources. Okay, and the resources that are available. There's international unions been helping us here in Wisconsin, you know, for 2 years now. Look around the country. Here's another challenge for anybody. Before they go and they cast a ballot, just look around the country for corrections locals who have left AFSCME and went with an association and see how they've done. I'm not going to answer the question for you. Do it. Check it out. Pick up the phone and call them. Okay, they'll talk to you. And once you find out how they've done, make your decision. If you look around and you find out for yourselves what it is, these associations and how they're doing, I think your selection on your ballot is going to come a lot easier to you. As a member of AFSCME, as almost a 20-year member of AFSCME, AFSCME to me represents dignity in the workplace. It's that easy, okay? I've never been with a group or a group of people who have fought for dignity in the workplace harder than my brothers and sisters in AFSCME. I've never been with a group or a group of people who have fought for dignity in the workplace harder than my brothers and sisters in AFSCME.